turn the page, but keep the vibe. Alek Manoah's got the vibe.
He's got a different gear when he's out on that mound. He just takes it to the next level.
You better have a plan. I know you don't. You can't keep me in a cage. I'll just start over to
Deep center, Stringer back, jumps.
And he makes the catch. He had that all the way.
Bichette to his left, he's got it, and the throw to first to get him.
Goes upright with the pirouette and delivers it on the money.
This guy, Manoah, well, it's hard to not like the way he competes.
And he got him.
What a pitch by Alek Manoah. Wow.
Got it. Words exchanged.
He jumped right back at him.
Like, no, you need to go sit down. Just attack and pitch the pitch.
Fastball right down the middle.
Manoah is fired up.
Dahlbeck and Manoah exchanging words.
Just competitive baseball, man.
I was good with it, and that's what makes him elite, is the way he competes.
Jordan Romano had this to say: every game is crunch time now.
The 0-2 from Romano. Swing and a miss to finish the ball game.
Today was just a hard-fought win.
Schneider wins again. Blue Jays going for the sweep.
Well, the Blue Jays will look to close out their first post-All-Star set on a high note this afternoon with a chance to sweep the Boston Red Sox. They've won 2 consecutive series, so sit back, relax, and enjoy another afternoon of Blue Jays baseball right here on Sportsnet. As we welcome you inside our Blue Jay Central studios alongside former Major League catcher Joe Siddall, who looks like he's off to Nantucket for the weekend. You look very sharp. Yes. We'll hear from Ross Stripling ahead of his start this afternoon. He's been everything, Joe, and more since rejoining that Blue Jays rotation.
Ross Stripling was one Blue Jay that was not an all-star in L.A., but he is arguably one of the most valuable players this season, continues to do it in this rotation. What a backup he has been.
Induction day in Cooperstown, Red Sox legend David Ortiz, the only player getting in that class of 2022. Will show you a portion of my conversation with Big Papi during his final season there in Boston. But first, the Jays in position to sweep this series thanks to another outstanding effort by Alek Manoah. His 16th quality start of the year and a 3-run outburst in that 3rd inning was enough to put away the Red Sox as the Blue Jays won their 5th straight game. Now, the John Schneider era has certainly gone according to plan. The team is now 6-1 under the interim bench boss, outscoring opponents 59-19, and the Blue Jays have won 5 in a row, outscoring opponents 50-14. And some of the numbers during the streak, well, they're staggering. Take a look. Their team batting average, 366. They've really made strides with runners in scoring position. 5 games ago, they were 25th in the majors. But thanks to that 467 average, they've moved all the way up to 15th. Lastly, we cannot overlook the pitching, which has combined for a 2.35 ERA. We talked about this win streak, and a lot of it, Joe, has to do with how the offense has really performed. And we saw a hit and run executed in the ball game, and that helped them get on the scoreboard. Why would a team hit and run? We've seen the Blue Jays do it twice, and why haven't we seen it more in today's game?
There are several factors that go into a hit and run, and you have to consider a lot of things. And the purpose of the hit and run is to get an infielder moving, creating a hole maybe for the hitter to find. Now, we don't see it a whole lot in baseball anymore because with the analytics, it's all about getting your 3 big hits and going. But there are factors that you need. Number one, it's a runner on base that's not necessarily a stolen base threat, but it's also somebody like Santiago Espinal that has very good bat control. They can handle the pitch. Ideally, you want to do it against a pitcher that's going to be in the strike zone, and I think the count is important. First pitch is not a bad idea, but I like it 1-0. I like it 2-1. There are different times that I don't.
Hey, so yeah, it's interesting with Gurriel because I had a chance to speak with him yesterday, and he said one of the biggest things he's learned over the last couple of months is not to get too down on himself. He wasn't happy with how the month of May went, and he said, okay, there's a long window here, there's a long runway, but he's also made a ton of adjustments at the plate with his mechanics especially. He is now favoring the middle of the field. If you look at the pull percentages here, that's the old Lourdes in his mind. He said, I'm not thinking about either of the corners of the field. I'm going up the middle, and as a result, fewer shifts is what he's facing. to the point where John Schneider, yeah, he's going to keep Gurriel in the lineup as a DH today.
Absolutely, Arash. And it's really a unique skill set relative to the rest of the Blue Jays lineup. He has the ability to hit all kinds of pitchers, to make all kinds of different contact. And that's one of the reasons why you see him in the third spot today with Alejandro Kirk getting a day off. The Blue Jays do want that ability to continue to set up Bo Bichette in the fourth spot. They didn't want to bring him up in place of Kirk with the day off. And Gurriel just fits there because he's able to just do so many different things to a pitcher sort of like Kirk. And the fact that he's been able to make that kind of contact, really just set up a lot of different innings, complete some innings for the Blue Jays in different spots, has really made him an invaluable part of their recent offensive streak.
Yeah, the Blue Jays are hot, not just Gurriel across the board, and they've also run into some good fortune when it comes to opponents' personnel. Think before the break, Philadelphia came to town, no JT Realmuto. 10 Royals didn't come up from Kansas City because they weren't vaccinated. Here against Boston, both Rafael Devers and JD Martinez have been banged up. And we learned today, with St. Louis coming to Toronto on Tuesday and Wednesday, that Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado have decided to do their own research. They're not vaccinated. They're not going to be playing either. Those are two NL MVP candidates.
Absolutely. Along with Realmuto, the most high-profile players that have taken a miss on that series in Toronto. And look, the key for the Blue Jays is to take advantage of this because they've been through far more hardship than everyone else. There's a lot of crowing in the American media about this, a lot of conversation about how this is an advantage for the Blue Jays. But you think about it, this cuts them off to a number of players. They've endured so much over the past couple of years. They've got an opportunity here. Here's a little bit of payback.
And today it's Ross Stripling who gets the ball for the finale. Stripling is used to the heat. By the way, the feels like temperature right now is 41 degrees Celsius down here. But Stripling, remember, is from Texas, pitched in LA, used to the Arizona and Florida spring training deals. He said humidity is good for him. He prefers these conditions over dry conditions.
Right. Look, everybody's going to be a little bit different in that regard, but the Blue Jays are still going to be very cautious with their pitchers, all their players, but especially Stripling and Danny Jansen. It started with pre-hydration last night for both guys. They're going to be hydration for everybody when they come into the dugout, ammonia towels, different ways to keep guys cool. As pitching coach Pete Walker said, the total of this game, 75 to 80 in these conditions, is like 100 in normal weather.
Here's the good news for the Blue Jays, Hazel. If it's a ninth inning save situation, Jordan Romano is available. That after a 4-out save against the Red Sox yesterday.
Arash and Shai, thank you. Still ahead, the Fenway faithful will be closely following what's happening in Cooperstown today. It's induction day for David Ortiz at the National Baseball Hall of Fame. We'll check in on the festivities when Blue Jays Central pregame returns. Back in a moment. 4 of their series so far. They've also taken 4 or 5 meetings at Fenway Park, and Ross Stripling will try and lead them to a series sweep this afternoon. Let's send it over to the guys at SN Bets. Hey, fellas.
Thank you, Hazel. I'm Pat Stuthers with Anthony Bruno at the SN Bets Big Board presented by Bet365. The Red Sox find themselves in a little bit of a tailspin, and the Jays are eating it up. Today, it's Ross Stripling, trusted with earning the first 3-game sweep for Toronto in nearly 2 months.
Stripling and the Jays are the favorite at minus 160 on the money line. That's an implied win probability of 62%. The reason Toronto is expected to win and the reason the game total is set at 10.5 runs is because the Blue Jays are facing Red Sox rookie Brian Bayo, who's making his 3rd career Major League start, and he was lit up in his first 2 starts earlier this month, giving up 9 runs on 13 hits in 8 innings.
The Houston Astros came into Seattle and really broke up the Mariners' party, ending the 14-game win streak, ending the streak of 8 straight series wins, and now Seattle faces their first sweep since late May. But not if Robbie Ray has anything to say about it. He's had 12 strikeouts in 2 of his last 3 starts, going against Framber Valdez, who is no slouch himself. For that reason, this is a nerfy game watch. Let's sweat it.
We could see a low-scoring game between the Guardians and White Sox today in Chicago because over the last 2 months, there haven't been many pitchers more dominant than White Sox stud Dylan Cease. He's given up just 3 earned runs over his last 10 starts, spanning 58 innings, while his counterpart Shane Bieber has thrown 15 innings against the White Sox this season, allowing only 2 earned runs on 7 hits.
Speaking of dominant, Clayton Kershaw was feeling the love at the All-Star game this week, and I'm sure he he'd love to put on a show for the Dodgers faithful today. The Giants are 1-5 in their last 6 games against left-handed pitching. On top of that, LA is 5-0 in their last 5 home games against San Fran. Giants run total set at just 2.5 today.
The last time the Blue Jays swept the Red Sox was in June of 2015, and it was a 3-game sweep at Fenway Park with Marco Estrada picking up the win in the series finale. Ross Stripling looking to do the same today. Hazel, back to you.
Thank you, guys. Sunday's Boston lineup brought to you by Bet365. Alex Cora has penciled in Duran, Vasquez, Verdugo, and Bogarts in the top 4 spots there in the order. Franchi Cordero starting in left field, hitting 5th. He's having a rough go at it. He's gone 0 for 21 with 17 strikeouts in the past 7 games for the Red Sox. Now, thankfully for Sox Nation, they already have something to cheer about today. Their beloved David Ortiz will be enshrined into Cooperstown.
Red Sox trailing 5-1, and Poppy gets in. The big right-hander.
Bases loaded. 2 out. Hard hit into right. Back at the wall. It's overhead. It's gone. It's into the bullpen. This game is tied. This game is tied. David Ortiz. David Ortiz. David Ortiz.
They're going crazy here at Fenway Park.
He's been as clutch, maybe more clutch than any hitter in the game.
Absolutely incredible. Here comes Poppy for a curtain call.
Unbelievable.
It is a big day for Red Sox fans. Number 34, Big Poppy, officially becomes a Hall of Famer this afternoon in Cooperstown. And Ortiz was a 10-time All-Star, 7-time Silver Slugger, perhaps the most clutch designated hitter to ever play the game. He finished his career with 541 homers, close to 1,800 RBIs, 20 career walk-off hits in the regular season, which ranks him 3rd in baseball history. More importantly, who can forget the role he played in ending the Sox 86-year championship drought? I spoke to him in his final season there in Boston and asked him about the accomplishment he cherishes the most.
Most legendary players have that indelible moment that really defines their career. Willie Mays with the catch. You think about Hank Aaron rounding second base in Atlanta. Is there that moment for you as you look back? Is there that one moment that really defines your career for you?
Definitely. I think it was the 2004 playoffs.
Ortiz into deep right field. Back is Sheffield. It's gone! The Red Sox have won it! The Boston Red Sox can finally say it. For the first time in 86 years, for the first time since 1918, they are champions of the world. For the Red Sox, next year is finally here.
What we did that season, it basically turned things around here. I mean, you used to work here. You know how that went down.
Yeah, I saw that firsthand. When you walk away from this game, do you want people to think about that ALCS, that World Series, that 2004 season, and think David Ortiz, the two combined together?
Well, that's gonna be replaceable. You know, like it's already on the people hard drive. You know what I'm saying? Like you're talking about a town that you wait for so long to win a World Series, and all of a sudden, 86 years later, we end up winning one in the way we did. So that's hard to forget.
The class of 2022 features 7 members that tie together more than 150 years of baseball history in a celebration of diversity. The class also includes Brooklyn Dodgers great Gil Hodges, pitcher Jim Cott, Minnie Minoso, who was the first known black Latino player in the big leagues, Twins outfielder Tony Oliva, Bud Fowler, the first black professional player, and Negro Leagues legend, Mr. Buck O'Neil. Who knows? We may be watching a few future Hall of Famers in today's ball game. You never know. When we return, we'll hear from today's Blue Jays starting pitcher as Blue Jays Central pregame continues. We'll send you back to Fenway after this.